Hi everyone, my name is Emergy Ducos. We are the Group 4. I'm tackled for today is Long Range Financial Plan. So, what is Long Range Financial Plan? Budgeting for operation, growth, and renewal buildings, structures, and land is the process of long-term financial planning or shows anticipated growth rates from the present to the targets as well as the capital expenditure and capital requirements needed. So, the long-range plan also includes an in-depth risk analysis. The rest of the significant revenue and profit changes are listed, along with probabilities of the change occurring. The plan is backed up by set of the key statistics indicate change in such areas as coverage of. From this analysis, one way deduct the likelihood that the corporation won't achieve its objective and get a general ideas of the rest of financial laws that the company is willing to accept in order to achieve its objectives. A subsidiary plan that categorizes projected sales and profits by strategies, business units, product lines, and geographical regions should also be included in the plans to help determine where the plan's greatest risks and opportunities are located. The long-range plan is used to assess lenders in determining the risks involved in lending to the company. The purpose of the long-range plan is to give management a range cut analysis. For example, all departments must submit a capital request, and the sales department and the engineer departments both must contribute statement margin information by products and minimum or maximum expected revenue figures by products. Next is trades of revenues and profits. The progressions of profit within a company is a probability trade in the long or short run, and upward trade indicates that profit has generally increased over time. Profits are decreasing with probabilities trades downward. A goal sales level that must be attained by a certain date or an average growth rate will be listed in the business strategies. The predicted growth each individual year must be specified in the long-term plan. This expansion need not follow a constant trade form year to year. Instead, the strategy should link income levels to the launch of new goods, the establishment of fresh company divisions, or the expansion into new region. Similar to this, the trade in earnings should be linked to the estimate expenses of developing new items, making capital investment, running marketing campaigns, or incurring other costs associated with growth. Look at the pictures that the example of trades of revenues and profits. Capital investment. To enhance a company long-term business aims and objectives, capital investment refers to the purchase of tangible assets. Among the assets that are brought as capital investments are real estates, manufacturing facilities, and machinery. Capital investment less in the long-term strategies shall be the capital expenditures needed to reach the goal for sales and profits. Working capital requirements ought to be included in the investment amount. Cash invested in receivable and inventories list the amount of account payable. The elimination of working capital through the reductions of inventories and receivable is a growing trend in business. If the organization intends to use such strategies, that objective needs to be included in the business plan because it will have a big impact on the amount of capital needed to help management quickly estimate the expenses of launching a new product or business. Capital requirements should be specified by products, business units or region, selling a unit or expanding into a new region. Look at this picture of this capital investment. This is the examples.
So good day everyone, my name is Loisa I. Mongolan and I will be discussing the topic about cash flow and financing requirements. So let's proceed to the next page. Cash flow. Cash flow is represent to the net amount of cash and cash equivalents being transferred in and out of a company. Cash received represent inflows while money spent represent outflows. So the cash that goes in the company is represent as inflow, while the cash that goes out from the business is represent as outflows. So the cash that inflow is those cash are the earnings or income, while the cash that outflows is pertains to the expenditures of in the operation of the business. Let's proceed to the next page. The long-range plan should include cash requirements for each year of the plans. So, if you're planning to build a business and you want to operate it for long term, then you should include cash requirements for each year. So let's proceed to the next page. Why do the management need to be aware of the company's projected debts and equity mix? The management must be aware of the company's projected debts and equity mix because this will affect the cost of capital. The debt equity ratios is a measurement of the relative contribution of the creditors and shareholders or owners in the capitals employed in the business. Simply stated, ratio of the total long-term debt and equity capital in the business is called the debt equity ratio. So, the highlight is in this sentence that the debt equity ratio is a measure of the relative contributions of the creditor and shareholders or the owners in the capital employed or being used in the business. So, why do the management need to be aware of the company's projected debts and equity? It is important that the management to know and understand about the debt equity ratio because because the company will measures the amount of risk associated with the capital that is set up and run in the business. The ratio is pertains to the long-term debt that is used to run for the business and the financial leverage that is available in the business. So let's proceed to the next page. So here's the example of cash flow statement. Proceed to the next page. So risk analysis. It is the process of identifying and analyzing potential issues that could negatively impact key business initiatives or projects. So the company must analyze the potential risk because this could negatively impact in the operations of the business. Also, it helps to prevent or mitigate the risk. For example of risk analysis, for example, if the company hired an IT and then the IT is responsible for security breaches and technical misstep of human errors infrastructures failures. So in that way, the company can mitigate or prevent the risk from a hacker by invading or stealing the private informations and the financial asset of the company. So let's proceed to the next page. Um, the long-range plan should include an in-depth assessment of the risk that will occur as a result of the business plan. The commentary should include some or all of these topics. So the first one is competitive response. It is a move that is taken to counter the effect of competitors' actions. Um, so, in this risk, the company must make the strategies or tactical action to defend the competitive advantage and um, and to improve the market positions. So next one is ecological cost. This refers to the direct impact of native wildlife through predations, disease transmissions, competitions, and disturbance. So when you say ecological cost, it is refers to the risk that associated with the nature and natural resources. So, for example, the consumption of fuel fossils to make energy requirements is the major cause of air pollution and climate change. So, for example, ng fossil fuel is electricity, lights, natural gas. So, when we study about the science that those are the fossil fuels when is includes the um, electricity, lights, and natural gas when you combine together, and then it uh, those fuels go up in the atmosphere. This will create the heat energies, and then the atmosphere will get breaches, and then this will affect to the climate change and air pollutions. So it is important to preserve our natural resources and natures, because we are human being uh, the one who benefit those natural resources. And next is sales fluctuations. Sales fluctuations refers to the predicting potential sales of products and services based on historical sales patterns or judgment. So, as you can see, uh, as you know about the uh, trend in the market, that when you see about the sales, the irregularly shifting uh, up and down, you will see there is a risk in that situations. If the company expect the higher but it results to the lower, then it is also lower sales, and then there is also a risk in that situation. So the company must predict the potential sales in order to um, prevent or mitigate the risk. So next is capital cost overruns. So it is occurs when a project incurs or unexpected or unanticipated costs above the original budget. So, for example, if is the constructions project, if the company's expenses is exceeded in the budget, then there will result to a problem. So the management must prepare the budget and organize it in financial requirements in able to mitigate the risk, because this can affect to the cost of capital of the business. And next one is step cost trigger points, which is the step costs are common: the cost of a new productions facilities, the cost of a new machine, supervision cost, marketing costs, and etc. are all step costs. So in this point, there is also a risk, because you have to spend for productions, and then the machine, and then the supervision marketing cost. So it must be budgeted to avoid the risk. And next is nationalization of facilities. Nationalization is the process of taking privately controlled companies, industry, or assets and putting them under the control of the government. So, if the business uh, is under control of the government, so there is a risk in that situation because the profit incentive will be absent, and then some asset without compensations will not will be in put in risk. So next page is technological advances. It occurs when technologies or applied science become more precise, accurate, efficient, or more powerful or capable. If the business cannot cope up with the advances of technology, and then there's a risk in that situation because they cannot innovate or improve the product. The scarcity of our resource means that the amount available for use is or will soon be inefficient. Critically of our resource means that it is scarce and at the same time essentials for the present society. So one of the example, if the company want to purchase the equipment or the machines that will be used in the operations of the business, and then suddenly they found out that there is no supply in that equipment, so there is a risk in the situations because probably the operation of the business will be postponed because due to lack of materials. And next one is deteriorations of margins. A declining profit margins means that the firm is making less money per dollar of sales. This can be the result of a lower sales price or higher costs, or both. If total sales fail to increase to make up for such a decline, total gross profit in the income statement will go down. So in that, if the margin, if the cost is higher, and then the amount of dollar sales is the same, and then the margin will decrease. If the cost is the same and then the dollar amount of sales is increased, then the margin will increase. Next page, the breakdown by business unit, product, and line geography. The long-range plan should include capital expenditures, revenue margin, and profit breakdown so that the management can determine where it can expect its greatest return as well as its greatest risk of loss. So next, typically detailed breakdown includes this area. So number one is product line. A product line is a unique product category or product brand a companies offer. It can be considered to be a product group that consists of all the related products that falls into the category. Product mix, on the other hand, is the total number of product lines as a company offers to its customers. The next one is business unit. The business plan frequently categorizes sales and profit by business unit. So it's talk about the sales and the profit of the business. And then last is geography. The business plan may include expansions into geographical areas, and so the cost of advertising and marketing campaigns should be itemized. If the areas are in other countries, the company may have to build productions facilities in those locations. If so, the capital cost should also be included. When you say geography, it is the area or the location. So in the business, it's important the company to find a place where the goods, services is most likely to succeed. So because of the data, the company, the geography tells a company what the customer locally wants. So that's all, and thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Laibing Mindilapiat and now I will discuss about financial position. What is financial position? Financial position explained as the leverage, solvency, and cash standing of a company which ultimately leads to the ability of the business to survive, is an important factor in large of businesses alike. Overall, financial position is a summary forms that the three basic aspects of accounting, which is assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. These three factors sums up the essence of the financial positions of any businesses. This is important that a statement of financial position has become one of the most important report in businesses. The first three aspects of accounting, which is assets, companies have a lot of balance. Company must maintain the proper amount of cash, equipment, and more. Assets are the resources a business holds. Without the resources of a business, like anything else, cannot survive. Second is liabilities. Company does not want to outspace itself. These are the obligations of the company that takes on it. Includes of notes payable, accounts payable, interest payable, and sales payable. A business must just keep enough liabilities to be able grow the wealth it holds while making sure not to have many liabilities. And it also called leverage, which is the common path of failures. Second is liabilities. Company does not want to outspace itself. These are the obligations of the company that takes on it. Includes of notes payable, accounts payable, interest payable, and sales payable. A business must just keep enough liabilities to be able grow the wealth it holds while making sure not to have many liabilities. And it also called leverage, which is the common path of failures. Owner's equity. It is the residual value of the company after all assets are with greater than value of liabilities. It includes of preferred stock, common stock, capital surplus stock, options, remained earnings, and treasury stock. This measures whether the company is providing values to owners. Without that, business has not no reason to exist. Kung nakikita niyo sa picture, ito ay tinatawag na Statement of Consolidated Financial Position. Pinapakita dito kung nababalance ba ng maayos yung assets and liabilities ng high-tech company noong taong 2009 to 2010, which is actually happens. While at plan year ended, it is plan pa lamang and it is just estimation pa lamang ng high-tech company. And para makuha to, using the balance sheet. Long-range plan should include the profit and loss statement as well as the balance sheet for each year of the long-range plan. Why financial position is important? Financial position is important for lenders and investors, and it is used for internal use only. For the lenders, it is important because they want this information to determine corporate range for approving loans. And while for the investors, it is important this information of them to determine their investment positions with the company. And the years of the long-range plan should simply extend the typical income statement and balance sheet through the number of years covered by the plan. And that will be our report of Group 4 Thinking.